Alrighty, hello everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our 2026 State of the Institute webinar. My name is Drew English. I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Membership here at the Exit Planning Institute. As the Director of Membership, it is my job to lead our member experience team's top priority, which is serving our CEPA. We're committed to ensuring that every member feels aligned with our community, feels fully supported by the resources that EPI provides. The member experience team is here to guide you, connect you, and help you get the most value out of your membership. So your dedicated member experience representative here on the team is always available. So please don't forget about us, reach out and connect. But on behalf of the entire EPI team, I just want to take a quick minute and say thank you for taking time out of your day to join us for the State of Institute webinar. This webinar is always one of my favorite webinars of the year. It's an opportunity for us to pause, zoom out, and really take a look at where we're at as an organization and a community. Things that we've accomplished together, what we've learned, and most importantly, where we're headed next. And so if you've joined us in past years, you know that this isn't just a highlight reel. It's a very transparent look at growth, our priorities, and how we're continuing to serve and strengthen the exit planning community. If this is your first State of the Institute, welcome. You picked a great year to start, and we're happy to have you here as well. Before we get started into the presentation and the topic here today, just a quick note on participation, as we love these webinars to be interactive. Please utilize the Q&A chat throughout the presentation. Drop your questions, your comments, anything in there. I'll be monitoring those and making sure we weave those into the conversation as we go throughout today. In terms of the slides, you can download the slides that are being shared here on the presentation today. You should see a box on your screen in the related content section of that. You should see the presentations there in a PDF download format. Lastly, if you're wondering about continuing education, if you are a CEPA on the call, one Value Acceleration Knowledge credit hour, CEPA hour, will be rewarded and placed automatically into your CE tracker. So you're good to go there as well. So for today, like I mentioned for the State of the Institute address here, it's my pleasure to introduce our presenter today, Scott Snider. Scott is the president of the Exit Planning Institute and is responsible for the strategic direction of the organization and community. Today, Scott's going to give us an insight and share where the Institute stands and where we're headed next, providing some behind the scenes look, some big updates coming down the pipeline, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, Scott Snider.
Cool. Thanks, Drew. And let me echo a big thank you for everybody tuning in and spending a little bit of your afternoon with us here at the Exit Planning Institute. As Drew said, super excited for this year's State of the Institute address. Even more excited for our Exit Planning Summit that is coming up at the end of April, where we'll debut a lot of the stuff that we'll talk about today. So another, I would say, if you're not attending the summit, you should consider it. But also stay tuned to LinkedIn and all of your socials and stuff while we are at the summit, because it just generally, I think, is a big week for us in the exit planning profession and exit planning community. It's a place where we continue to make big announcements, but also execute on big announcements as well. So a lot of cool stuff coming up in the next couple of months. I'll tell you, I've had one hell of a quarter so far. I'm traveling about, I think it's 49 days of the first 90 days of the year. I've been really all over the country in the first month and a half here, and quite a privilege, honestly. It reminds me of days of old where we used to have our Certified Exit Planning Advisor credentialing program in person, and I was able to interact with folks like all of you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So it's been really cool to pop around the country to different cities and different chapter networks, and really be able to, from almost like a grassroots level, it feels, be able to roll up our sleeves, have deeper and better conversations, have value acceleration centric conversations, and talk to you guys really in person about what are your needs and how can we help and where we're going. So If you've joined one of those events throughout the first month and a half of the year, thank you for spending some time with us there as well. I'll tell you, if you followed EPI, and we'll talk about this as we get into some of our strategic initiatives, I also had one hell of a weekend. I spent my weekend at Daytona International Speedway. Many of you know that we have a partnership with Legacy Motor Club through our drivevalue.com platform. We didn't race in the big show, the Daytona 500, but we did put the Drive Value CEPA truck into the Craftsman Truck Series on Friday night, and we almost won the damn thing. And so pretty wild ride. I think we ended up finishing 5th, but we got a lot of airtime, and I'll talk to you about why that's important and where that's leading from a strategic standpoint later on in our presentation. So it's good to be back here home in Cleveland, Ohio, at our EPI HQ in Westlake, and it's good to be sitting in my office chair again and being back with my team. I think I missed a couple meetings this morning, hanging out with all of our folks. We're at about 52 people here now at the Exit Planning Institute. So a big day, and it's good to be home with the team. So a little bit about our agenda for the day. I want to talk to you before we dive into the future. I want to talk and just recap again, a moment to slow down, to speed up. A lot of us who are certified exit planning advisors know this from the value acceleration methodology. It would teach an exercise that's called accomplishments and disappointments. And you'll hear me talk about those throughout our presentation. Disappointments aren't necessarily things that are bad. They're learning moments for the future. And so I want to talk about a little bit of our come from. So just a slide on kind of where we're at and some big achievements this year. And I've incorporated basically some of our maybe disappointments as things that we're doing differently in the future. So you'll see a little bit of that as we move into where I think we're heading. And I also want to talk to you about where I think the market is heading. Not the market in terms of mergers and acquisitions or this more typical or traditional, I should say, market update. I want to talk to you about the business owner's mindset and what I'm seeing, what my family's going through as owners living our own methodology ourselves, and the folks that we surround ourselves with. So I want to give you at least some of my insight into where I think the exit planning profession is going and where I think the business owner's mindset is today. So let's start by perhaps some celebrations inside of the EPI community. I think that if you know me well, I'm usually a pretty transparent guy, and I would say that 2025 for me was a good year. It wasn't a great year. If you're a CEPA and you understand the 1 to 6 value accelerations scoring scale, I would say that it wasn't a best in class year, but it was certainly a slightly above average good year, and our team worked really hard and we learned a lot. And I say that because for any good entrepreneur, business owner, or business advisor or leader on the call here today, I believe we're taught, right? You could read hundreds of books on this, that in order to stay relevant, ahead of the game, on top of your customers' needs, your business, your organization needs to evolve every 5 years. And if I'm being totally transparent with our members and guests here today in our State of the Institute address, I would say that though I think we are a best-in-class business, I don't think we caught the evolution train quick enough. And why I'm excited about 2026 and beyond is that we realized this as we moved our way through 2025, that something needed to change and be different. And not only is 2026 and beyond more of an evolution, I'm calling it a revolution. I believe that the EPI that you'll see in 2026 and for the next 5 years and our new 5-year run, new 5-year vision and strategy is revolutionary work that we're going to do together, both people here at the Exit Planning Institute and all of you out in the community. I think the time is now, and I think that we're going to have a really great run at serving business owners, particularly in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think it starts today. In fact, I think it started January 1st. 2025, no doubt, though, we saw some major milestones, and I certainly call out a few. First and I think foremost is when I think about our business, our organization of the Exit Planning Institute, I think about community and connection, both to all of you and then certainly internally at EPI. I think one of the things that I'm most proud of is our people and culture. I always try to talk about our people and culture, really all of the 4 intangible capitals, if you will, with our audience, because we're a living and breathing value acceleration case study. I think more so than ever before, we're empowering our people to lead, decentralizing us as owners, and really empowering the community to lead as well. So if If you look to the left and the right of your presentation screen, you'd find that we added 16 new teammates here at the Exit Planning Institute, and those teammates were out collectively as an organization, won a bunch of different awards for having great people here, very innovative people, people that go beyond innovation and can execute and also build great cultures. I think one of the uniquest things I've seen in my, I guess my going into my 14th year of leading EPI or buying EPI is the ability to create value creator employees. And so it goes well beyond the business owner and goes deep into all employees, whether it's a part-timer or an executive and everybody in between. I believe that the Exit Planning Institute believes in the value acceleration methodology. It's a part of our mentality, and we're living it every single day. And I think that's one of the reasons that you see really a strong base here at the Exit Planning Institute. What you might experience, frankly, more externally as certified exit planning advisors and partners and guests and other VIPs and advisors inside of our community is we had all kinds of different achievements across the year that we participated in. We launched our first annual Exit magazine. A big shout out to Sam in the background for helping us live a dream. We've always wanted this magazine, and she even printed a few in physical form for me. So hopefully you guys are getting a chuckle out of that in the collaboration space. Nevertheless, in all seriousness, I think it was a massive win. I think it's a place where we can we can showcase advisors doing best in class work, like our advisor that was on the cover of the 2025 annual Exit magazine, Amy Wirtz. She's the Exit Planner of the Year last year, and it had tons of different content and how-to inside of this magazine. Again, first edition launched last year, and I think it was a huge success and milestone for us. We also launched the drivevalue.com brand, and so this is one of those wild visionary ideas. Tons of people to thank along the way inside of this campaign, but at the end of the day, Paige, our Vice President of Marketing and Brand Strategy, and myself were sitting on a plane ride home. And as we were sitting on a plane ride home, really to conclude 2024, we said, how do we get to business owners? What is our certified exit planning advisor commercial? And yes, you could wrap it around a NASCAR and we could talk racing stories all day. I think it certainly looks cool. But really, it's about the brand that is drivevalue.com and what it'll do for our space. I think it's the revolutionary kind of part of it, where for the first time in 2025, we rolled out a brand that was business owner facing, that helped educate business owners along the way and showcase the power of the certified exit planning advisor community. We chose the NASCAR series this year for several reasons. One, maybe the biggest two, is they have deep fan loyalty, and they have, as a percent of fan base, they have the largest segment of lower middle market and micro market business owners. And so Drive Value will certainly evolve this year, but a huge win, and a big shout out to Alex, who designed that car. If you see her walking around at the EPI Summit or the Growth and Impact Week or wherever she might see you in person, make sure to give her a big shout out. That was a hell of a run in a beautiful car. We also, I think, debuted new chapters and other pieces of new content. I'm going to incorporate the generational SOAR into what we're talking about today, because I think it really matters for the future. But I would also invite everybody that's listening to pick up a Mastering the Market, as I would say, these are kind of like the Harvard Business Review, right? They're meant to be a collection of pieces along the way that kind of empower and intrigue us and create action. And so another great content piece that we expanded in 2025. But certainly growth inside of the community, growth inside of the chapter network, really a good year for the Exit Planning Institute and an exit planning community as a whole. So let's talk a little bit about the future. So I would say I feel like if you have been around for a while, I feel 2026 is as important as 2020 was for us at EPI, when we were forced to pivot our entire program from in-person programming to virtual programming. And that was the revolutionary part, right? That went well beyond just evolving a product, but really sparking something new that ended up really changing a whole community and really moving an entire organization. And so as we look into 2026, I think our focus has to be really around three major things. Number one, given the market, we'll talk about market next, I think helping both advisors and business owners cut through complexity is absolutely key. And I think in different ways. One, we're going to, first off, whether you're a business owner or a professional advisor, we need to cut through the complexity by bringing clarity and connection to one another. It's actually a common theme that we adopted internally here at EPI as well. But I believe both advisor and owner need clarity on how to implement exit planning, and they need deep connections into communities that are doing it. I think for our professional advisors that sit, a lot of our CEPAs that sit on our call today, we're looking for, how do I unlock the methodology? I understand the educational piece, but what's the application piece? I understand the science of it, but what's the art of it? And if we can unlock that, we can better understand our roles within the value acceleration methodology, and we can build deeper relationships with business owners. And I think that if we can do that, all of that leads towards not only us as the professional advisor implementing the value acceleration methodology, but business owners picking it up as well and making it a part of who they are as a company in life and in business. I think the business owners need something like drivevalue.com, a how-to guide of how to implement value acceleration. How do I drive value into my company? How do I align business, personal, and financial goals? And before I even get down that path, how do I change my mindset from income generation to value creation? And then who are the advisors leading it? For me, the advisors leading it are certified exit planning advisors. And so I think we need to really cut through all the complexity, start getting some early wins in the advisor and the owner community by bringing clarity and connection to one another. Next thing I think we need to do is align around one purpose. We redefined our purpose back in 2020 from change the outcome to building from successful to significance. And I think that if we surround our educational programmings, our research, our content, and our community around one goal, and that goal is to build more significant companies, I think we have a win. And so for all of you, I start many of my presentations with coming back to a renewal of purpose and mission. And I certainly know that this is our purpose and mission at EPI. And I would challenge that if you're a certified exit planning advisor on this webinar today, that it is your purpose as well in the work that you do with business owners. I think many business owners would absolutely say they feel they have a successful company. They might have built it over decades. They have great customers that they have great relationships with. They have a strong P&L, perhaps a strong balance sheet. They have great people. They live a nice lifestyle. They make a good income. And when they go to transition their business to their employees, their management, or their family, or they go to sell it outright to a third party, they're kind of slapped in the face for the first time because somebody's called their baby ugly. For the first time, they're learning, and for the moments thereafter, they're learning that although they have something that was year over year successful for them and produced, that didn't directly equate to long-term significance. And for me, a significant company is one that's highly valuable, ready, and attractive, that is aligned to the business owner's business, personal, and financial goals. And I think that's what we're after as business owners. And I certainly think that's the mission of us for us as a community of certified exit planning advisors. So a little talk about the market, and then we're going to talk about what we're doing as an organization to address that market and put CEPAs at the top. I think the time has arrived, folks. 21 years ago, Peter Chrisman and Rich Jackham founded the Exit Planning Institute off a $10 trillion opportunity book, research that they did inside of their own firm with their own clients that told them about the market at hand. It was primarily back then being driven by the baby boomer business owner. Today, it's driven by multiple generations, and it's something that we need to address as a community. But I know that we've been talking about this exit wave for that 21-year period, and I think it's finally upon us. 51% of baby boomers are indicating that they want to exit in the next 5 years, and 39% of Generation X want to do the same. Generation X, give or take, anywhere between 43 years old to turning 60 years old this year. They are kind of speeding up, if you will, the exits in our country, taking us from not just a $10 trillion opportunity, but a $14 trillion opportunity. 9 trillion of that being realized in the next 5 years. So I know we can talk about it and we can feel great about it over that run. But the fact of the matter is, I do think it's upon us. The baby boomer generation is give or take 61 years old all the way up to 78 years old. But the average baby boomer is 67 years old this year. And I just think people are beginning to think about life differently. At 67 years old, in the next 5 years, they're 70 plus, and they're going to be thinking, what else do I want to do in life? who am I outside of my business? And maybe I need to leave room for multiple passions in life. Business will always be a passion for me, but maybe there are other things that need to be done in life as a baby boomer, as I approach 70 or I've surpassed 70 years old. And so I think it's very natural for people at average age of 67 to be thinking about, how do I drive value into my business, align my goals, and start to leave room for other things in life. So I think the boomers are here, and they're thinking about it. Generation X has a little bit of a different mentality. They are very passionate about a work-life balance. They value their time, and they believe in working smarter, not harder. They're very, although they might not call it this right now, the Generation X business owner is kind of naturally inclined to think about decentralizing themselves from their business. Nevertheless, the market today looks like 51% of privately held companies in America are owned by a baby boomer, and 43% are owned by somebody in Generation X. So with those numbers, I think that we're going to have a massive opportunity to help serve business owners who are looking to exit and move into different stages of their life. And I think that for the first time, I'm extremely serious about us getting really serious about serving those business owners, because they're here. It's the reason that, a few years ago when we started our podcast, we named the podcast Exit Is Now, because I think exit right now is all around us. And I believe that exit strategy is business strategy. There's nothing different. So exit is always, has been and will always be really all around us. We've done a lot of studies on our generation, on different generations. We also certainly have millennial business owners. Millennial business owners are, give or take, 28 years old to about 42 years old. So we are certainly likely seeing some millennial business owners in the market today. I'm a millennial business owner. I got the big 40 coming up here on April 4th. But nevertheless, I think they're changing the way we think and do business, and they're forcing us as professional advisors to change along with them. For those of you that attended the Exit Planning Summit 2 years ago, I had a business owners panel, and I asked that panel of 6 owners, in a sea of professional advisors, I have to ask this question. I said, what do you look for in your business owners? I need one answer. And collectively, those 6 owners gave me 2 really great answers, or they were in unison. Number one, they said this. The business owners on stage said, Scott, well, what I look for in my advisor is I want an accountability buddy that's outside of my executive team and outside of my board. And 2, they said, Scott, I'm looking for someone I can have a relationship with. So I think there's a lot of talk in our industry about exit doing and talking. I think that there's a ton of talk around education and empowering, and where do I technically fit in? I can tell you that the best in class professional advisors educate first and leave the technical for second. I think that the biggest thing that we can do as a certified exit planning advisor community is become an accountability buddy for our owners, and someone they can trust and believe in through a relationship and not a transaction. And I think that's what next generation owners are looking for. When you look across the generations, this is how and what the generational characteristics that you're seeing on your screen today, different owners do different things. I think many advisors lead with technical and forget about meeting an owner where they are. We need to slow way down to speed up. We need to be able to understand our business owner, meet our owners where they are. We need to be able to seek a relationship, and we need to lead with value. If we can do those things and then connect people and bring people together, we will hold the most trusted advisor role. But it really all starts with not the technical at all. It understands about how to build a value-centric relationship with your business owner. And I think the way we start by doing that is understanding who our owners are first. So a quick snapshot of what we're seeing in the market. Again, 51% of the American companies owned by a baby boomer, 57% of them want to transition in the next 5 years. When I think of about a baby boomer business owner, knowing their generational characteristics, I lead with personal planning with a wealth gap conversation. And I do that because I connect the personal stuff that they need with some of the financial stuff that they know. So they're numbers and systematic kind of people. So we're going to take some of that systematic mathematical equation and have it lead us to a personal conversation. As a lifelong entrepreneur myself, I am inspired by the baby boomer generation. They work hard, they're passionate, they love being successful, they're competitive, and they have a unique ability to to handle a lot of crisis and move forward and win on the other side. But knowing those generational characteristics and putting our professional advisor hat on, these are the folks that invented the 60-hour work week. I don't care if it's their business, their marriage, their golf game, they tend to be naturally inclined and wanting to be successful in it. They're very passionate people. What we're seeing is also a little bit of an identity. I don't want to say an identity crisis, but an identity evolution where they're saying, look, for the last 40 years, I grew this company out of the shed of my backyard, and now I own a 60,000 square foot manufacturing facility with my name on the side of it. Who am I outside of my business? And so as a professional advisor community, knowing that they're very passionate, knowing that they're very career oriented, knowing that they like winning and success, let's talk to them about personal planning, who they are and where they want to go and what they want to do. Now, Generation X is quite a bit different. Generation X knows that they naturally struggle with a work-life balance. They want the balance. They believe in their time. They believe in working smarter, not harder. When we asked them in the State of Owner Readiness Survey, what do you want to do after selling your business? They said, retire. They said, look, I want to make enough money in my business that it can power the different things that I want to go do in life. Business might always be a part of it, but it's not going to be my number one thing. I know who I am outside of my business. That's really not my problem. My problem is that I'm feeling I'm hitting a ceiling, is that I'm doing all kinds of roles. What we would call decentralizing the business owner, I think is going to be absolutely critical for them. And so if I'm a professional advisor and knowing those generational characteristics and what they're naturally after, I would leave with a business planning conversation, because a business planning conversation will unlock decentralizing yourself and managing through the 4 C's. And then the millennials, I think, are as ambitious and as entrepreneurial as their baby boomer counterparts. I think what we need to understand that's different as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, the millennial business owners are going to be your boomerang exits. These folks are not going to hold businesses for 40 years. They're going to build, buy, and sell their business every decade, every 15 years. So by the time they're 67 years old, they might be on their 3rd or 4th exit. And I'm saying, what a wonderful relationship to have for professional advisors and certified exit planning advisors, because we can go on this crazy, awesome entrepreneurial journey with them where we're building and selling companies every decade. Now, millennials are known to be spenders. And I think if I was working with a millennial business owner, I would lead with the value acceleration methodology, because they're ambitious but not framed. So it's going to take these massive visions that they have, break them down into 3-year strategies, 1-year plans, and 90-day sprints. But the biggest thing I would lead with is financial planning. These folks earn to spend, so doing some conservative investing to help power everything is going to be critical. But folks, that all starts with understanding who your client is, who your prospect is, meeting them where they are, using generational characteristics to empower your conversation. And then understanding if they're exploring or if they're pivoting. Are they just kind of exploring the value acceleration methodology? And so we need to just drip some information on them and stay in tune and start building the relationship. Or are they ready to rock? They're changing their mindset. They're saying, look, I want to move from income to value creation. And so we could be a little bit more empowering with them and strategic. But my bottom line is, know who you're talking to, understand your generation, slow down to speed up, lead with empowering the business owner to create a more value acceleration centric mindset. If we can ask the right questions and listen, if we're willing to educate before we're willing to go do, we will change the owner mindset from income generation to value creation. And then we can roll up our sleeves and get technical. We are certainly an exit planner if we're a financial advisor. We focus on the financial planning side. We're certainly an exit planner if we're doing the business improvements. We focus on the business side. The advisor or the owner certainly appreciates and values your technical aspect, but you'll never get to the technical doing part of it if you don't educate and start a relationship first. So how do we do that? I think the way that we go do that in our industry is to create more value creator owners. And there's really 3 things that we have to do. One, we have to create more awareness around our common framework and common language. We need to know what the 11 actions to rapidly grow value and unlock wealth are. We need to understand the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 key concepts. We need to understand where we're going and how all the business, personal, and financial elements of our life as an owner all fit. Next thing we need to do is we need to have a good team as certified exit planning advisors. I'm talking about deep connectivity between different advisors, and I'm going way deep, way beyond just the core advisory team, but into functional advisors as well. When the conversation changes from income generation to value acceleration, or from income generation to value creation, the whole game changes. Not only do your core advisors, a CPA, a business consultant, an attorney, a financial advisor, certainly directly drive value for you, but so do your personal planners, so do your IT consultants, your marketing consultants, so on and so forth. And so as we start to change our conversation from income to value, we start to grow the ecosystem. And I think some of the best in class advisors, some of the best in class CEPAs have mastered this ability to connect people, collaborate, and bring a team of advisors around an owner. And then last but not least, the days of transactions are over. We need to move to relationships. At bare minimum, I'm telling you that Generation Z, Millennials, and Gen Xers seek relationships, not transactions. They seek purpose in their work. They're passionate folks. They believe in core values. They want trust accelerators, and they're seeking advice regularly from advisors. And so if we can crack into that by educating the owner and coming alongside them as a trusted advisor with a relationship and value in mind, I think that we can really thrust the whole industry forward and take advantage of this $9 trillion of wealth that'll happen here in the next 5 years. But I think it leads with that. And I think at the Exit Planning Institute, you'll see us really jump down these themes. Our role at EPI is to power an entire community of certified exit planning advisors to be the most trusted and the most valued advisor an owner can have. So we do that here at EPI in 4 ways. I think we're most known for our advisor development programs. It is by far like the bread and butter. It's kind of where our cornerstones, where we're founded, through deep advisor development programs that inspire and create impact and thrust people forward. The next thing that we do though is really the two are compared, like almost in a partnership. I believe that we're also really known for our research, and our research for me, isn't just research just so we could pick up a report and read it. It's the so what and what now moment. Our research for me challenges assumptions and creates an impact to go out and change and go do something better or different. Because we have great research, it empowers our content production. And I think our content production is impactful and actionable, not just something that you pick up and read and then you put it in your bathroom reader, the little slot that sits in your bathroom. You actually pick it up and you read it and you go, damn, I'm going to do something different today. Or you pass it on to somebody and you say, look, Mr. or Mrs. Business Owner, I want you to read this and think about this financial planning or personal planning. And so it's not enough for us at EPI just to create stuff that looks cool. We have to create stuff that actually creates an impact. And last but not least, and certainly as a wildly extroverted guy, one of the things that we have done really well, in fact, maybe best in class, is build community. It's our 4th pillar of success at EPI for our certified exit planning advisors. I believe in ROI-driven relationships. We can go to any morning breakfast or any conference, bump shoulders with people and say, look, I met a lot of nice people, and I listened to some great content. But to me, in order to create impact, help owners really move from success to significance, we need people that want to roll up their sleeves and get to work. I call it an ROI-driven relationship, where we're not just bumping shoulders and having a cup of coffee or a cocktail or a social hour. We're meeting people that we can do business with. We're also meeting people that challenge us to be better and best in class. And so if you look around the Exit Planning Institute at the highest level, and we're going to start to go deeper in some of these initiatives, EPI is then known for advisor development, research, content production, and ROI-driven relationships, bringing it all together. What I'd like you all to think, and as Drew kind of mentioned as we started off, there's many people today that are joining us perhaps for our first State of the Institute address. I have not, and I think we have not here at the Exit Planning Institute, and collectively some of the foundational members at EPI, we didn't build an organization that we just wanted another 4 letters after our name. And we didn't build an organization that was just another association where you got to renew a due. I think we built an organization over the last 20 or so years that wants to make a difference, that wants to have an impact. And so when you think about your work inside of the Exit Planning Institute, your association with Exit Planning Institute, it's not four letters, and it's not another organization or group. You should look at us as a return on investment. We, me and you, us as a community, we become better because of each other. And so what I want you to look at EPI as is a catalyst for growth and impact. How do I grow my practice, and how do I have deeper impacts on business owners now and in the future? And I think if we're working through these four pillars of success, we're integrating through advisor development programs, we're talking to people inside of our community and building relationships, we're leveraging the content to create action, and we're educating ourselves through keeping up on research, we have the opportunity to become the owner's most trusted and valued advisor. I'd like to take a couple moments as we dive through some strategic initiatives and talk you to a little bit about what's inside of each one of these pillars. So first off is our advisor development programs. Our advisor development programs are at the deepest level, our Certified Exit Planning Advisor program, but we also have our EPI Academy, our Exit Planning Summit, and even our chapter network. But I think the biggest change that you'll see inside of EPI this year as it comes to advisor development is the adoption or the launch, if you will, of a brand new member model. We're moving from a two-tiered model to a three-tiered model. We're dumping the credentialed plus, and we're moving to CEPA, CEPA plus, and CEPA mastery. You'll see this debut officially inside of our Exit Planning Summit on April 20th or so. This membership was created by deep research done on best-in-class advisors, what owners were looking for in their advisors, and what you all were asking us for. And so when you look at our CEPA Plus membership, it's really rooted in maybe a handful of things. Number one, peer-to-peer learning. How do I understand the implementation at the application real-world example level? How can I learn not just from peer-to-peer, but how can I model some case studies off successful CEPAs? How do I continue to build my skill set and roll this out? So there's going to be peer-to-peer learning sessions in multiple forms. It's one thing that really stands out. Second is connections. And frankly, growing your center of influence inside of the CEPA community of like-minded advisors. I'm proud to announce that on April 20th, we will launch a community called CEPA Connect. CEPA Connect is, you can consider it the LinkedIn of everything exit planning. You will be able to connect with each other globally and nationally. You'll be able to do job posting on it. You'll be able to join a forum and talk to fellow CEPAs within a certain group and serve a graduation class. You'll be able to connect with each other to grow deeper relationships and a referral-based network. You can post things on it just like on LinkedIn as well. So I'm really excited to finally, since we've gone, in 2020, we went to that virtual program. This is a nice new way to connect a whole global community of nearly 11,000 certified exit planning advisors and thousands of advisors that interact with our community each year. So I'm super, super excited for CEPA Connect. It'll be online and an app right on your phone, just like the LinkedIn platform. We will also embrace getting you directly in front of owners with an owner playbook and an owner prospecting toolkit. This is based in intriguing and empowering the business owner. This is not a marketing system. This isn't just an email campaign. This is rooted with content that returns, content that has impact, so that you can sit down with a business owner and have a 60-minute value acceleration meeting so that it is very clear what the value acceleration methodology is, what can it do for you as a business owner, who the certified exit planning advisor is, and then what role do you specifically serve as the certified exit planning advisor? Again, some of us are personal planners, concentrating on the personal planning leg of the stool. Some of us are consultants, concentrating on the business improvements leg of the stool. Some of us are financial planners, concentrating on the financial planning stool. We are all exit planners. We are all certified exit planning advisors, and we'll be able to tell the owner what role we play and then reverse. What role do we play? What is exit planning and value acceleration? How do you get going in this? How do we change our mindset, and why are we all here? So you'll have some business owner prospecting and implementation toolkits. And then two, I think, major items as well. We are going to embrace all of our continuing education inside of this membership as well. So it'll all be inside of CEPA Plus For many of us that are venturing down the continuing education CEPA train each year, we have to get it from different areas. Some of it's on the free platform, some of it's more deep dive. In the future, all of it will be included in your CEPA Plus through academy style courses that'll again be included in that membership tier, so that you can earn. You need about 20 hours of value acceleration methodology centric education every 3 years. You'll be able to embrace it in 6 to 7 hour chunks each year, and you'll have a rotating library of continuing education courses. We're also putting in the Exit Planning Summit. The Exit Planning Summit will become a part of CEPA Plus membership. So if you're already running on Credentialed today, Credentialed Plus, and you're coming to the summit, we're bundling that all together in the CEPA Plus membership. We have found that some of the best in class CEPAs attend the summit, and it's a key part of not only building ROI driven relationships, but being exposed to innovative solutions, innovative content. And I think CEPAs, frankly, some of the best in class CEPAs are people that have a purposeful growth mindset. They are lifelong learners. And so as the methodology evolves, we evolve, and they get that education at the Exit Planning Summit. And so all of that will debut on April 20th. But that will be the core membership. Now, you still have a lower tier membership, that's just CEPA. It'll be very equivalent to what you see as if you're a CFP holder, CPA, CPWA, any of the designations. If you just are looking to hold a credential, we certainly have that option for you. If you're looking to grow your practice and have impact with business owners, the CEPA Plus membership will be for you. And if you're looking to become a master at what we do here in the CEPA community, you can upgrade your membership to the CEPA Mastery level. The CEPA Mastery level will really have two, I would say, major additions. And you'll get everything that you have in CEPA Plus, but in addition, you will get a profile on drivevalue.com, and you will have access to an exclusive group of 150 CEPAs that will come to our first CEPA Mastery Winter Retreat in the winter of 2027. And so at the CEPA Mastery Winter Retreat, we will focus on rolling up our sleeves and really making it happen. We will learn from each other. We'll have a best-in-class faculty come in. We are there for two things. One, we want to truly dissect the methodology and unlock it. We want to be able to go home and be able to utilize it, build the confidence that we need so that we can go out and really create some impact. Two, we want to be surrounded by like-minded advisors. And so the 150 people, there's only a certain number of slots for each advisor type, so that when you're in a room together, you can actually meet people that you could do business with and really get the train going. And so I'm really excited for that. It won't be like a conference and with multiple breakouts. We'll all be together for 2 or 3 days and really diving deep through the methodology. And so I'm really excited about our CEPA Mastery Winter Retreat as well, included with our CEPA Mastery membership. The next major thing that we have is our drivevalue.com platform. Drivevalue.com is a business owner facing brand that we developed last year. You heard me kind of introduce it again at the top of our presentation. As you'll see this evolve again on April 20th at our summit, we'll debut a new drivevalue.com platform that is the how-to guide for value acceleration. The concept is that we need to dumb it way down. We need to make it interactive. We need to focus on short form education that intrigues the owner, empowers them, and leads them to action. And so number one, the first area of drivevalue.com will be a how-to guide on how to grow value in your business, align business, personal, and financial goals, and how to eventually transition that company. Now, it'll start by changing your mindset. So we need to teach the owners the 11 actions to rapidly grow value and unlock wealth. What's the mindset of a value creator? Once we understand the mindset of a value creator, we can then get to work. We can understand how value is determined and how value is driven in our business. Then we can decide, then we can learn about how do we overlay our personal and personal financial goals and make them all about all in the equation. And once we understand that, we can understand then how value is driven regularly inside of our business. And then we can understand some of the exit options that we have. And so if you think about the drivevalue.com platform, you could be sending your business owners into the Drive Value community to learn how value is determined and driven and how goals are aligned. Then you'll have two options as a business owner. You can either say, look, I want to just keep learning and exploring, or I'm ready to rock. I want to pivot. I want to change. And you can be connected to an expert. Those experts will be our certified exit planning advisors, a part of our CEPA mastery level inside of our EPI membership model. You can also be connected to a value-centric endorsed brand. So we'll also have companies there that lead with value and will be exposed to the business owners integrating through drivevalue.com as well. At the end of the day, everybody, drivevalue.com is our certified exit planning advisor commercial. Again, 57% of boomers transitioning in the next 5, 39% of Gen Xers. It's time that business owners know in order that the best advisors they can use in growing value and in aligning goals is a certified exit planning advisor. And so whether that be on the golf course or the racetrack or anywhere in between, advisor or business owners will know that you can find those advisors at drivevalue.com. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our research. Again, our research is research that challenges assumptions, and I think creates an overall impact. It's really focused around our state of owner readiness research. But at the end of the day, I think the one I'd like you to visit and interact with the most is our generational state of owner readiness survey. It kind of blends well with what I talked about to start our webinar together, that owners are here and owners are ready. And so we need to be able to get to them early. We need to be able to educate and move them down the path of execution. And so knowing the owners and how their stats stack up, I think is absolutely key to success in 2026 and beyond. Next is our content production. Again, our content production is really blended well with our research. The research allows us to create actionable and impactful content for both advisor and owner. So whether that's teaching us as the advisor and moving us down the path to become best in class, or whether it's actionable and impactful to the business owner, allowing them to move down the path of value acceleration, we have that for you and your business owner clients. We have short form content, long form content, magazines, infographics. I would invite you guys to certainly stay tuned to us on LinkedIn. Please follow our blog. Please open our monthly member roundups and our weekly updates. Stay tuned to what's going on inside of the EPI community. Last but not least is our ROI-driven relationships. Again, my passion here for an ROI-driven relationship is that anybody can really bump shoulders and get to know people. But I think it takes a special community to come together and take some action. So we have been really all over the place in 2025. We'll be all over the place in 2026, whether it's the football stadium, the golf course, the classroom, or a racetrack. You can find like-minded advisors that lead with value, that build trust together, and create lasting relationships that deliver measurable results. And so you'll see us pop up in fun different areas around the country throughout the year, focused on bringing a community together to create change and action. Some deeper strategic initiatives that are going along with our core themes. Last year, we launched the Thought Leadership Council, and this year they will be more prominent in the work that we're doing. It is time that the exit planning community is really centered around each other. And our Thought Leadership Council, these 6 individual CEPAs, will become stewards of our methodology for the future. I'll be the first one to say that I am not a professional advisor. I need all of you to help me grow my own business. It's a really cool cycle that we have. We educate you, you educate me, and it all keeps paying forward and moving. The critique that we certainly have gotten is that we're really internally here at EPI a team of entrepreneurs. And with our Thought Leadership Council, what we'll be able to do is bring some advisors right into the floor of EPI that help influence our strategic direction, our content, and our how-to. What I love about these 6 certified exit planning advisors is that they represent different types of people, different advisor types. But they all share maybe a few things that pop for me. One, they're award-winning certified exit planning advisors. They are major thought leaders inside of our space. They have helped us build a profession and evolve the methodology. And these will be the folks that are stewards of the methodology in the future. Next is our chapter growth. We had a great opportunity to launch several chapters next year. but we're going to be launching 9 chapters this year across the United States with really 2 goals in mind. One, we want to be in all of the top 20 markets in the United States. And then we want to be in the 5 most entrepreneurial cities in the United States. And usually when you look at these entrepreneurial cities as ranked by Entrepreneur or Forbes, they focus on the startup entrepreneur, and that's okay for me. I think if you're starting a business at 25 or 35 years old, I think that you need to start with the end in mind. They need to know that exit strategy is business strategy. So if we're going to build a community that's entrepreneurial centric, it has to be with a certified exit planning advisor in mind, and it has to be with a value acceleration approach in mind. Next is Growth and Impact Week. So this is a brand new event that we're bringing to San Diego in June of 2026. If you're interested, you'll see this launch really post State of the Institute address. Our Growth and Impact Week is different from our Exit Planning Summit. Our Growth and Impact Week is there to do just that. It is really designed around content that allows us to grow our practice and have deeper impacts on business owners. It is for the entire advisory community, CEPA and non-CEPA. So it'll be short-formed impact designed to help grow your practice and advance your position with a business owner. We'll have some of our best-in-class award-winning CEPAs with us. We'll be in one room the entire time, and it'll be exclusive and limited to the first 200 people that sign up. The Growth and Impact Week also butts up to our San Diego NASCAR race, where the DriveValue.com car will be racing around the street course that they created on the Coronado Naval Base. So a really cool race, the inaugural race for this series. So a really cool opportunity along the way. But if you're looking for very intentional, very direct, very application-based and implementation-based education, the Growth and Impact Week is going to be right for you. Next is the Exit Planning Summit. And the Exit Planning Summit, I really hope you guys can consider it, because there is perhaps a facelift of some nature coming to the summit with a bunch of new elements being injected into those 2 or 3 days together. The Exit Planning Summit has continued to be the largest exit planning gathering of professionals in the world. We have one of my personal favorites. I was just in Nashville yesterday, meeting with our production team and event management team. We have something called Summit Exploration Time. Summit Exploration Time is I think it's a 3-hour segment that allows you to design a course that's the most impactful for you. So you can go to a TED Talk style session on the Growth and Impact stage. You could go to a live podcast. You could go to meals and meetups with your fellow advisors. You could dive through business owner fireside chats at the DriveValue.com stage. Hell, you can even go into the fun zone, shoot some cornhole, see who's got the longest drive on a golf simulator, and really be able to meet people in a fun and impactful way, right? And so I think the Exit Planning Summit is going to be really a revolutionary year and really an epic year. So if you haven't got your ticket to the Exit Planning Summit, I would do so, and it's in one of my favorite cities as well, Nashville, Tennessee. So I really appreciate the support of our chapter network there as well. I'll be speaking at our chapter meeting on the 16th, just a couple of days before our Exit Planning Summit as well. So if you are in town, or you will be in town before the summit, our EPI Nashville chapter is hosting us there. And so really excited and really appreciative. A shout out to our senior event manager, Jocelyn. Many people know Jocelyn inside of our EPI community. Her big project, the challenge that I gave her, was to take over the vision of the Exit Planning Summit and design for us what would be a world-class or a best-in-class summit. And you'll see a lot of those elements injected into the summit this year that were really a vision from her. So I'm super excited to make that event really more about the community of advisors, and really be a place that we can truly bring a great community together and create some impact and have a little bit of fun along the way. So in closing, and Drew, I know we probably got some questions and we're butting up to the top of the hour. I would leave you all with this. The vision goes well beyond 2026. It goes to 2028 and even beyond that. We're looking at making a 3 to 5 year run with some of the key elements that we have injected into our strategy. But by 2028, EPI wants to become the second largest professional credential in the market. In order to do that, we'll need about 13,773 members. And if our sales team and member experience team and account management team, marketing team is listening, I'm just going to round that up to 15,000 for us and say, I think to truly make some deep impact by 2028, we need to have 15,000 certified exit planning advisors in the market. We would be up there as the, give or take, the second, arguably the second largest professional credential in the United States. I would like the value acceleration methodology to be the gold standard for growth, balance, and exit. And I want our CEPAs to continue to lead that movement and become the owner's most trusted and valued advisor. And I think it matters. There are certainly some tangible goals and numbers that I've shared with you there, but I think there's a massive intangible goal as well. It's creating a new way of doing business and a new way of thinking about life and business as an entrepreneur and a business owner. I want to see this stuff taught at colleges and universities across America. So when you come out with a bachelor's degree in business administration or business management, you understand how value is driven and how goals are aligned. Not only will it make you a better business owner, but it'll make you also a value creator employee, a value creator professional, a value creator leader. And so we're changing a whole perspective of how we do business here in the United States and maybe even in the world. And so I think it matters more, I think, short term, because 57% of boomers and 39% of Gen Xers want to exit in the next 5 years. The time is now. We have prepared for this moment for 21 years as the community. I believe the future mindset that we should have as business owners is it's life and business. Business ownership for me is just a part of who I am as a person. I need to understand how this largest asset really helps power my entire life, and frankly, how it's something that can help power other people's life as well, accelerating their market value and accelerating their careers. And I think if we could do that and do that well as a community of CEPAs and people here at EPI running this organization, I think that we can have some massive impact on the next generation worldwide. And so I really appreciate everybody's time. Happy to take some questions, Drew, if people want to stick around for them. I would invite you all to download our newest edition of our annual Exit magazine, which showcases our exit planner of the year from 2025, Joe C2. And if Joe's listening, congratulations, my friend, well-deserved. I always call Joe a fast tracker. He became a CEPA, I think started a chapter within the first year. He successfully transitioned that chapter. I think he's won every award now inside of the Excellence in Exit Planning Awards given to his dedication to business owners and his passion for collaboration. So Joe, congratulations. You can see Joe's article as well as many others inside of that annual Exit magazine. And Joe will co-host the Exit Planning Summit with me in April. Thanks.
Awesome, Scott. Thank you so much for diving in, and especially the folks listening. Thank you for all the questions and the comments you've thrown in the Q&A box. As we're kind of butting up on time here, there's just a few questions I want to single out, Scott, that I think we've been getting a lot of insight or requests for insight on. And one is talking about our EPI community. And from your perspective, what are some of the best in class ways for connecting and collaborating within our community?
Yeah, no doubt. So I'm really, that's a great question. It's what it is. It's one of the three best in class elements that we see in our certified exit planning advisors. So how do we become best in class in advisor collaboration and connection? So number one, I'm really excited for April 20th. Please mark your calendars and stay tuned. We're launching the new member model. The best way in the future that you can connect with each other and build community is through CEPA Connect, the online community of certified exit planning advisors. So that would be the first. You can also come in person. You can go into our chapter networks. You can go into the Exit Planning Summit. You can come to the Growth and Impact Week. So you can dive in person, rub shoulders, shake hands, and really get to know each other as well. And two, I would leverage your team, Drew. I would leverage our member experience team. They are the liaisons between you and EPI. I think one of the best things that our member experience team does is make warm introductions for us. Yes, you can go to CEPA Connect. Yes, you can go to findacepa.com. You can find the person in your local community that you want to interact with. Or you can call one of your member experience representatives and say, hey, I really need an estate planner. Or look, I'm really looking for a good personal planner. I'm looking for a good M&A guy. Can you make an introduction? And that person can connect you as well. And so I'd rather have that nice warm introduction than a cold email. And so please leverage your member experience team.
Absolutely. Just to echo, we are here to help. We are here to connect. So please reach out to the member experience representatives here. The last question I want to pull out from the Q&A bank here, Scott, is specifically for the summit, the Exit Planning Summit this year, and some of the extra experiences that we have available for our attendees. Can you just briefly, kind of high level, talk through some of those extra experiences that we have?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I talk through a summit exploration, what I wanted to try to give our customers, when we digested that survey, we said, look, how can we achieve some of these pain points or needs that they're looking for? And so now you can design a schedule over those 3 hours that fits your ROI. So some of your ROI might be meeting the right people inside of the exhibit hall. We can do that. Some of you might want to learn directly from business owners, so you can go to the drivevalue.com stage. Some of you might just want to sit and do some peer-to-peer learning inside of our meals and meetup section. Some of you might want to hear an empowering TED Talk style session on the growth and impact stage, or you might want to listen to our conversations around value acceleration on the Exit Is Now podcast. My point being for all of you is that during that exploration time, you'll have 3 hours to build your own agenda, and we have plenty of stuff for you guys to do. Another cool thing is the sessions. I heard you guys last year when you said, look, Scott, you're really good at education. You need to do better at application. And so now we have both. And so you're going to have some lecture style sessions that are focused on the education foundation building, but you're also going to have some application building sessions. And the application building sessions are in two different styles. One, you're going to have interactive panel discussions where you're having deep dive discussions around topics. And the other one is going to be case study based. So we're going to be rolling up our sleeves. We're not doing 50-minute breakout sessions anymore. We're doing an hour-and-a-half session so you can really make it happen. And then last but not least, Drew, I would say our keynotes are absolutely critical this year. There is no doubt a loose theme around the most overlooked leg of the stool, and that's personal planning. Who are personal planners? How do we use them? And how can they have a seat on the core advisor team? I'll be running a panel on the main stage. We have a closing keynote. His name is Tommy Breedlove that talks about living legendary and on purpose and on passion. But we also open up with our friend Ben Utek, who won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. He talks about culture. And what we're going to be debuting at the summit this year is what we call the CEPA Culture Creed. There is a unifying message and an unnegotiable series of beliefs that we have as CEPAs that we all need to live by. And so he's going to help us create what our culture creed is as a certified exit planning advisor community, and that'll debut on the main stage at the summit. So there's several others, but I know we're on time, trying to keep on time as much as possible. But those are the top three that really hit me.
Yeah, and just lastly, if you visit exitplanningsummit.com, our agenda, topics, speakers, everything is housed there. But also internally, we're happy to help answer any questions and point you in the right direction for the Exit Planning Summit coming up in Nashville. Well, good. Well, I appreciate everyone's attendance today. Scott, thank you so much for diving into the State of the Institute and giving us some good look in and in-depth looks as well. Again, on your screen, the annual exit, go ahead and scan that QR code or visit annualexit.com to see that magazine, our newest magazine. But with that, everyone, thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. We look forward to connecting and moving forward. But have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, everybody.